I will now turn to the subcommittee leaders to present their bills, and we will begin with Chair Murkowski.
Thank you, Chair Collins, and to Vice Chair Murray for keeping this important and vital appropriations process going forward. I know it's been kind of a long slog this past month. There's just stuff that could derail a good process, but I think your commitment and your leadership directing us has really brought us to a good place. So I'm very, very appreciative of that, as well as your continued and collective desire to proceed in a bipartisan manner with this committee. And in that spirit of bipartisanship, I'm really pleased to be able to be here as we're marking up the Interior, Environment, and Related Agencies Appropriations Bill, and to thank my colleague and my partner in this, Senator Merkley, for what I think we did with a strong, thoughtful bill that can pass the Senate on a bipartisan basis. This is a trust-building exercise, and we have worked with one another as our staffs have, and I appreciate that greatly. Overall, this measure includes $41.5 billion for the Department of Interior, the EPA, the Forest Service, the Indian Health Service, and the arts. Our bill has targeted increases and strategic cuts to meet the commitments to tribes, develop our resources, care for our public lands, fight wildfires, and provide for clean air, water, and soil. We all say that there's never a perfect bill, and ours is certainly not perfect. There are things that we have included that perhaps I would not have, and I think Vice Chair Merkley would agree with that. But there's a lot of middle ground here in constructive areas where we have chosen to focus. As has been mentioned, we go a long way towards fulfilling our responsibilities to Indian country with funding for the BIA, the BIE, and Indian Health Service. We maintain the advanced appropriations for IHS. We include full funding of tribal lease payments and contract support payments, while we also provide some very strategic increases in the areas of law enforcement, public safety and justice, community and economic development, healthcare, and probate. We protect our public lands. I hear a lot from colleagues about the National Park Service and making sure that the Park Service can continue to be there for those of us throughout this country and continue to help generate hundreds of billions of dollars in annual economic output, endless opportunities to enjoy the great American outdoors. We also fund the USGS, the Fish and Wildlife Service, BLM, other DOI bureaus. We strike a balance between energy production, conservation, and recreation. Within the EPA accounts, we provide for clean water and state revolving funds within the EPA, maintaining these at 2025 levels. I think the cuts within the EPA account were made thoughtfully and very carefully to ensure that the agency is going to continue to provide environmental protections and remediation programs that help our states, localities, and tribes in their efforts to have clean air, clean water, and clean soil. Within Interior, we also have the arts, and so we demonstrate our support for the arts within this measure. You all know about the Smithsonian institutions. The Holocaust Museum is going to see a small increase for educational programs, which we think are essential at this time of rising anti-Semitism. And then the Forest Service. The bill ensures Forest Service and DOI have the resources needed to prepare for and respond to devastating wildfires, providing nearly $4 billion for suppression efforts, while enabling the Forest Service to continue to support the timber industry and research efforts, including those to manage against invasive species. I think I heard from just about everybody on invasive species here. We also go beyond just programmatic funding. We put in place some guardrails, such as incorporating detail tables by reference. So we are at the, I don't know if it's the end of the beginning or the beginning of the end, but for us who have been working these interior matters for some time, we are certainly one step closer to being able to advance these priorities for our country, our regions, and our states. So I'm going to thank my colleague, Senator Merkley, and his team, Melissa, Ryan, Rishi, and Anthony, as well as my own team, Daniel, Sarah, Aaron, and Anna. Everybody puts in considerable work, and we appreciate them greatly. I appreciate members' support of this vital measure. Thank you, Madam Chair.